Essentially, like everything that you think is important about your program, all the data that you're collecting routinely, the goal is to have a dashboard to tell you what is happening right now. A data warehouse is just a collection of tables to tell you what is happening in my program. So like how many students have been asking questions on WhatsApp, or how many teachers at this particular school have been doing the sessions for entrepreneurship. And someone in your organization can look at that dashboard and get a very fast, comprehensible view of, okay, how well is my program working right now? What sort of improvements should I make today?
Tech wasn't a big part of what Noora does. The first 6-7 years of our journey, it was very high touch, in-person training sessions, training programs that we did. One thing that we saw from day one from our users was that post the training session, users would come ask us, how can I share what you have trained with me with other family members? During COVID, our in-person sessions, the volume of that sort of dipped. And we transitioned to doing a lot of trainings over phone calls, started thinking, how can we continue to support trainers remotely? How can we extend what we train them over phone calls, in the hospital, in person, through technologies like WhatsApp?
So Noora is operating at considerable scale. They were already on their way to building a data warehouse and a whole data pipeline and already had some dashboards. We've just been really lucky to collaborate with them because our interests are completely aligned. At a small scale, you're trying to figure out like what should this intervention look like? It's probably changing all the time, and in that case, it's totally reasonable to not necessarily have this huge sophisticated data warehouse. You can just call the teacher and say like, hey, did you run this program today? What did you think? How's it working? And get very fast qualitative feedback. If the thing continues to grow and you continue to improve it, that system is going to break down. You're probably going to want to distill the sort of qualitative information into a set of quantitative markers or indicators. And then I think where organizations struggle sometimes is like they're trying to grow and scale up and their program has reached some level of maturity, yet they don't have necessarily the data infrastructure to support the sort of visibility that they would really like.
So a big motivation for us to build a more sophisticated data system was to have a single source of truth where all of the data that our program captures, we can view all of that data in one place, and that helps us in making program changes, taking decisions on what component to focus on. The nurse would use our application or would physically record the attendance data. So that raw data in real-time basis through dashboards that we have on top of this warehouse, it allows our product managers, it allows our program managers to focus on the non-performing hospitals, for example.
What we've seen with multiple organizations, again, once they hit a particular scale, it can be really valuable to have someone like a data engineer help build the tables to figure out where would that data ultimately need to come from and what are all the cleaning steps or other transformations that would need to happen in order to end up at that table, in order to build that chart, in order for the program manager to see that indicator on a regular basis.
So one advice that I would have for organizations who are trying to build a data system is to start and anchor themselves in the user problem and then go backwards from there in understanding what pipelines exist with the system, what data sources exist, really start and anchor in the metrics.
The really powerful thing is like, what information can you provide back? And I think that's a really exciting direction to, help give the frontline workers a sense of agency that's based on real evidence about how they're really improving the program.